Tea, biscuits?
No thanks.
Maybe later.
Yes, later. Well, Mr. Tanner's grandfather was a docker. Your grandfather was a docker, wasn't he? Shell, wasn't it?
A Shell Petroleum. Unloading the barges.
During the war.
Sorry?
Did he do the docking during the war?
Just after. Near Wandsworth Bridge.
Your grandfather was a docker, wasn't he?
He was a lifeguard. He would have saved the dockers when they fell in.
That's funny. My grandfather, during the war, was a fire watcher on the docks. So they were both lifesavers in a way.
Were you close to your grandfather?
Very close. Looked after me most Sundays. Took me on his bike to see the rest of the family. On the crossbar. People wouldn't allow it these days. No brakes, just the soles of his shoes. Were you close?
Your grandfather virtually brought you up, didn't he? You and your sisters.
Do you have any pictures?
Yes, I do. Do you want to see some?
Yeah, one of your granddad, maybe, in his work clothes?
His overalls? Oh, I'm not sure. They're in the kitchen. I'll get them.
Thank you. I apologise. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have given away the personal information without your permission. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Look, you don't have to do the scheme if you don't want to.
No,
if you want to go, we can just go now.
I want to see the photos.
Of course. Yeah. Whatever you want, Charlie. Whatever you want to do.
I sorted these out for my son a few weeks ago.
Does he have any children?
No, neither of my sons do. One day, eh? Nothing at work, I'm afraid.
Yeah. He looks an interesting character, though.
He came home one night. Freezing cold it was. He walked into the room, stiffly, like a robot. He took off his overalls and he stood them up in the middle of the room, like a sculpture. My gran came in and offered to make the sculpture a cup of tea.
So, was he a funny man then? Like, did he tell jokes and stuff?
Not as such, no. I mean, he had a dry sense of humour, but it was really the things he did that made us laugh. Real belly laughs.
Like what?
Well, he was an intrepid painter. Not DIY, just painting. Any surface, even the furniture. Freshening things up, he called it. My gran would come home from work and find a room completely repainted. He'd paint anything. He didn't prepare the surfaces or anything like that.
I bet that caused a problem sometimes.
One night, my gran went out to the toilet. In those days, we had an outside toilet, at the bottom of the garden. No electricity, just gas. So you had to feel your way through the dark and all the creepy crawlies. After a while, she came back, her backside completely covered in paint and toilet paper sticking to her dress.
Do you miss him?
Yes, I do.
My granddad died.
I'm sorry. At my grandfather's funeral, I couldn't stop laughing. It was such a serious, solemn occasion. The undertaker walking in front of the hearse, dressed in black with a long black coat. It was so solemn, and all I could think of was my grandfather looking down on it, and imagining him laughing made me laugh. Can you imagine me laughing at such a solemn occasion?
Something a bit like that happened to me. It was at my granddad's funeral, and me and my sister, we were sitting in the church in these rows. And my older sister, she was giving a eulogy at the front, and there's this woman behind us. I don't remember her name, but she had a hearing aid in it. She was playing with it, and it was making such a loud kind of screeching noise. While my sister was trying to give some big solemn speech, and me and my other sister, we just burst into hysterics. We couldn't stop laughing. And my sister, who was at the front, she kind of gave us this "if looks could kill" glance. In the end, we had to pretend like we were crying to disguise it. My mum and everyone around us was trying to comfort us because they thought we were so upset. But we just found it so funny.
How about that cup of tea?